The joy that overwhelms one to see that the journey of 1,000 steps in your career you began with a hopeful and giant steps comes to an end is worth celebrating with your loving family and friends. Families and associates were present to celebrate no other than an award-winning icon, Professor Amidu Olalekan Sanni. He taught at the Lagos State University from 1984 to 2018. Professor Amidu Olalekan Sanni assumed duty as the third substantive Vice-Chancellor of Fountain University, Osogbo on 1st March 2018, which came to an end in 2023. Hence, brought about this gleeful celebration. The comparer led to the opening prayer by reciting a few dua which kick-started the event.
ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا.
It was a breakfast session, so it was served with sumptuous meals. What can you say about the celebrants?
He's a very amazing person, very hardworking, very meticulous, very passionate about whatever it is he sets his mind to do.
Oh, he's an amazing gentleman, brilliant, extremely hardworking, and carries himself always with dignity, humility, and integrity.
He's a very outstanding scholar. He has just completed a very successful tenure as Vice Chancellor of Fountain University. And we are indeed proud of him. Very, very glad that he came to Fountain University because he did a yeoman's job.
Najiba Adebayo took the pulpit to recite Surah At-Tawbah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة.
Surely Al-Haji Rafiu Adesaibit had lots of important insight in his welcome comments.
We are here to do what we should normally do as Muslims. We should celebrate ourselves. The Muslim Ummah has no serious media, has no serious presence, and it is a bit sad. So today, if you see the press and all that, that's as far as we have, so to say. But more so importantly is the fact that Professor Amidu Sanni has done a very wonderful job in Fountain University. Takbir. He's done a very wonderful job in Fountain University. And we know that, Nasfat, I'm glad Alhaji is here because he was my mentor when we were reading accountancy. And Ari Nyempesa. They've done a lot of good. And I remember, I think it was Yenka Diola said, we are looking for a VC in Fountain University. I said, are you sure? I said, yes. How do you want to go about it now? You know, if you, and I'll talk a little bit about the university thing, the best standard is to headhunt a VC. That is what is normally done. But in Nigeria here, and I'm speaking from experience, to be a VC in Nigeria, I will leave it at that for now. It's a big challenge. So how do you get a nascent university to find the kind of VC that will drive what the university stands for? Because we know that there are very few, until recently, Muslim universities. And I dare throw a challenge that even if we put all of them together, they cannot match some of the universities of the other faith. But we have what most other faiths don't have. We have the Quran, and we have the unflinching conviction that when we do the right things, we'll get the right results. So it came like they were looking for, they were searching, and I said, see, Yinka, you have to headhunt. If you start this advertisement thing, you are going to get into a lot of challenges. So they did the headhunting, they started talking. I think Professor Sanni was in London then, or in the UK. And he said, we found somebody. And Trust Bolarinwa, he will not let me be. Àwọn VC, àti VC, báwo la ṣe máa ṣe, what, I said, see. I'm involved in Obafemi Awolowo University Graduate Association. I'm the chairman, do you know that? Just follow the process. If you have found somebody capable, make sure that he's the right person and get him on board. And that was what happened. And in 5 years, I can tell you the tremendous transformation that has happened in Fountain University. We are very proud of you, sir. We are very proud of you. Because I didn't know that Allah has its ways, that me too, somehow I've become pro-chancellor. So when I became pro-chancellor, I saw what Nigerian universities are. And I don't want to go into that. Professor Fagun is here because he gave a lecture at Osun State University. And I think I still have those transcripts. It is a challenge for all of us because we have the principles, we have the guidance, but most of the time, the commitment is not there.
The robust profile of the celebrant, Professor Hamidu Olalekan Sanni, was read out by Dr. Said Timei.
Professor Hamidu Olalekan Sanni is a professor of African and Middle Eastern Studies. He graduated with first class in Arabic language and literature from the University of Ibadan in 1980 and completed a PhD program at the School of Oriental and African Studies, London, in 1989. He taught at the Lagos State University between 1984 and 2018. His research interests cover literary and linguistic studies and West African manuscript studies. He has won a number of awards, including the British Commonwealth Scholarship, the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship, the Leiden Scaliger Fellowship, and the Chevening Fellowship at the Oxford Center for Islamic Studies. He has participated at many international conferences and has been part of the guest trainers on the Timbuktu Manuscript Project. He has served as a visiting professor at a number of international universities. He is a fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society of Great Britain and the British Society for Middle Eastern Studies. He has over 200 publications to his credit, made up of books, journal articles, book reviews in Arabic and English. Professor Hamidu Sanni assumed duty as third substantive Vice Chancellor of Fountain University, Osogbo, on 1st March 2018. He is a workaholic, stickler for excellence with zero tolerance for mediocrity and laziness. If you have worked under him, you'll know that. Professor Sanni's tenure at FUO is undoubtedly a watershed in the history of the institution, and in fact, in the history of academic institutions in Nigeria, because of his huge impact and monumental accomplishments. During his tenure as the Chief Executive Officer of Fountain University, a lot was achieved in the area of student enrollment, academic excellence, and infrastructural development. Student enrollment grew phenomenally from 150 in 2018 to 500 in 2022, largely due to the introduction of new courses and increased hostel facilities. There was considerable improvement in staff quality and number to run additional academic programs. And we most humbly beseech Allah in His infinite mercy to continue to strengthen him with sound health, ample wealth, and may He continue to guide and guard him, his family, and everything that belongs to him. We ask Allah to continue to bestow His blessings upon him and his family.
How do you relate the mark of excellence to his service on the education sector?
In fact,
is a pace setter in ensuring that all human beings, especially women, have the front to come out and face the world anywhere they belong. So it's very important that education is our hallmark.
It's not only in education, but in all sectors of endeavor in this country. Education, particularly because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made emphasis to education. He said, even if education is as far as China, make sure you find your way to get there, because it's education that will be the basis of foundation of any development. As a result, we are employing all our leaders to work towards improving all the facilities of education.
Imam Abdulhakim Lawal left us with a very intuitive lecture which positively penetrated the minds of everyone.
We gathered here this morning to celebrate an icon, an achiever, an Islamic scholar par excellence, a linguist. Allahu Akbar. We thank Almighty Allah for giving us Professor Sanni. Torí pé Professor Sanni nínú ẹ̀ṣà Ọlọ́run ni wọ́n wà. Jàmá ẹ̀ gbọ́lọ́run tóbi ni. Nínú gbogbo àwọn tí Ọlọ́run ọba dá. Àwọn kan wà nínú àwọn tó dá tó ṣe kíni tó ṣà wọ́n lẹ́ṣà. Ọlọ́run gbé àwọn kan ga ju àwọn kan lọ. Ẹ̀ṣà dẹni yí Ọlọ́run ló máa ń ṣe kì í ṣẹ̀dá ló ń ṣe. Tá bá wo Quran mímọ́, Quran Suratul Qasas káwọ́ àyà 86. Ọlọ́run sọ fún Ànábì Muhammad níbẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ní wa rabbuka yakhluqu ma yasha'u wa yakhtar. Ọlọ́run lọ́lọ́run wo Ànábì Muhammad. Ọba yìí máa ń dá tóhùn. Ó dá ń tà àti ẹ̀ mọ̀ rárá pé òun exist nínú ẹ̀dá. Ó dá ń tà lè fojú rí ẹ̀dá Ọlọ́run sí ni. Bó ti wá dá gbogbo ẹ̀ tó pọ̀ tó yẹn, wa yakhtar. There are few winners among them. Ó select àwọn èèyàn kan ó yàtọ̀ sí yín. Ọlọ́run ṣẹ̀ṣà nínú ìgbà. Ọlọ́run ṣẹ̀ṣà nínú ààyè. Ọlọ́run ṣẹ̀ṣà nínú ìyàn. A wá wò pé ẹ̀ṣà wo ló ṣe nínú ààyè. Ọlọ́run ọba ṣa Makkatal Mukarrama ó ṣàlẹ́ṣà. Ọlọ́run ní inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnasi lalladhi bi Bakkata mubarakan wa hudan lil alamin. Bàbá dẹ̀ wo Kùránì pátápátá. Ẹ rí i pé ńgbà táwọn bàbá wa ń tú Mákà nìkan ló pè ní ìlú, oko ló pè ìlú tó kù. Jàmáà kí ló jẹ́ kó pé bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé ó ṣàlẹ́ṣà. A rí i pé ó ṣa àwọn àsìkò kan lẹ́ṣà. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n yẹn mò ń listing sí just last night ni mò ń gbọ́ tẹ̀síìrì. Àwa láwọn àsìkò wo ló ṣàlẹ́ṣà. Ó ṣe Ramadan lẹ́ṣà. Tàbá Suratu Tauba Ọlọ́run lóṣù méjìlá ló wà. Ó ní oṣù méjèèjìlá yẹn minha arba'atun hurumun. Ó láwọn mẹ́rin kan bẹ ẹ̀ṣà ni wọ́n nínú àwọn oṣù yẹn. Jàmáà ó di mélòó? Ó di méjì. Ọlọ́run wá ṣa àwọn ẹ̀dá kan lẹ́ṣà láyé. Wọn pọ̀, wọ́n kéré. Ó ṣa Ànábì Isa ọmọ Maryam lẹ́ṣà. Kí Jésù tó dé ni làbárí ẹ̀ ti dé. Ó ṣa Sàkáríyà lẹ́ṣà. John the Baptist kọ́ nìyẹn. Kó tó dé làbárí ẹ̀ ti dé. Ọlọ́run sọ fún bàbá rẹ̀ pé yá Zakariya inna nubashiruka bi gulamin nismuhu Yahya lam naj'al lahu min qablu samiyya. Ọlọ́run lá fún ọlọ́mọ kó tó dé Yahya ni ó máa jẹ́. Àṣerú ẹ̀ fẹ́yàn kan rí kórúkọ síwájú ọmọdé. Jàmáà ẹ̀ gbọ́ Ọlọ́run tóbi ni. Ọlọ́run ṣa Ànábì Muhammad lẹ́ṣà. Ó nígbà tó bá dé Ahmadu ni ó máa jẹ́. Falamma ja'ahum bil bayyinati. Nígbà tó dé pẹ̀lú ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ kí náà wí wọ́n ní kì í ṣòun. Ará lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin, mo fẹ́ fi rinlẹ̀ fún yín léni pé nínú ẹ̀ṣà Ọlọ́run ìkan là ń celebrate léni. Professor Hamid Sanni, Ọlọ́run kó jẹ́ kẹ́mi ogun. This is a professor tó ṣe pé tó bá ń sọ Yorùbá wà ní ògbóyìnbó. tí n bá ń sọ òyìnbó wà ní ògbọ́ Yorùbá. This is a professor tó ṣe pé ó ń sọ lárúbáwá ju lárúbáwá fún láwọ́ọ̀dù pé ó mèdè yìí sọjà wá pàápàá lọ. Ọba tó dá yín ló ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú ẹ̀kọ́ tá a kọ́ ní jókòó ìlénì ó ní pé ká gbìyànjú ká bẹ Ọlọ́run púpọ̀ lórí àwọn àrọ́mọdọ́mọ wa. Àwọn tó bí Prof wọ́n ń ṣèyàn lásán wájú Ọlọ́run ló ṣe fún wọn nírú eléyìí.
A few eminent personnel took to the podium to deliver the goodwill messages.
We should be very, very proud of them. And there are, of course, other scholars of whom we should be very proud. But I think these two are, for this occasion, I would want to say, pay a public appreciation to them for making us proud. And may they continue to bear the struggle for Islam in a way that will show the light of Islam to the country. I was quite happy when I was reading the profile of Professor Sanni. Henceforth, every academic program, be it economics, accounting, or law, must have Islamic content integrated in full utilization of the new NUC core curriculum minimum academic standard.
This is my God, Professor Hamidou Sanni. I am going to say something about him. If we have not been doing it, let us do it. When I became VC, quality assurance was number one. I picked Professor Kebukola and Professor Sanni to lead the quality assurance team for me. And it became a culture. My imams are here. It became a culture. And that was what brought discipline. And we're fair. So with discipline and fairness, even those you discipline will respect you for doing it. When you are fair and firm, when Professor Sanni stood firm in terms of quality assurance, because you don't know who is watching you, everybody was careful. When Professor Sanni finished, you know, when a new leader takes over, because of what people will eat, they will not speak the truth, everybody will hide and pander to the new leader. It is only what new leader wants to hear that everybody will say. Stomach infrastructure. Stomach infrastructure. And that takes me back to what I said, that speak the truth. Wherever Almighty Allah says you will get to, you will get there. It is not man, it is Almighty Allah. Just say it as it is.
Professor Hamidou Olalekan Sanni, who has the same middle name with me, we became friends sometimes in year 2004 when he delivered a very powerful, thought-provoking lecture at the NASFAT forum. And it was amazing. And I started liking him. Then a year later, he invited me to be the chairman of the publication of one of his works. He did a wonderful job. That time, there was an Arabic literature about the introduction of Islam to Ilorin, written in Arabic. And it was his fortune to translate it into German. So not many people will know that he speaks German very fluently. And he speaks English fluently, Arabic fluently, and his Yoruba is for Pawan. So he is an amazing, brilliant gentleman.
The hero of the day. I didn't know him until 2018. We wanted to celebrate our father, Sheikh Ahmad Tijani Awelenje, and we wanted to publish a book. Professor Sirajuddin is the head of Arabic and Islamic Studies at Gombe University. He was the one urging us. And In 2016, he said, Dr. Awelenge, I know you can do this thing, but you have to show interest. I said, how am I going to do this? You are in Gombe. He said, I have somebody in Lagos. And he mentioned Professor Hamidu Sanni. I asked one or two other people to go with me to LASU that day, and I met him. And that was how we started. When the book was completed, it was so obvious that his contribution was one of the most outstanding in that book. And if somebody was going to ask for the book from UK, and he say, particularly that contribution by Professor Hamidu, I say, by the grace of God, here is a man who, after he leaves university, the vice chancellorship at Oshogbo, he still has the sky, in fact, more than the sky as his limit.
I thank the organizers of this event. Our chairman, Alhaji Saliu, has said a lot about Professor Sanni. We thank Almighty Allah for that connection between Alhaji Saliu and Professor Sanni, which led us to locate Professor Sanni. And that connection, which led us to discover Professor Sanni, eventually resulted in the landmark achievement, landmark progress that we witnessed in Fountain University over the 5 years that he served in the university. It was at the time that I also got involved. I've been involved in the Fountain University from the very beginning. But when I became president of NASFAT, I got closer, and then now serving in the governing council. And I realized that, running a university is not a joke. In fact, looking back, there are so many of my bosses in NASFAT right here. NASFAT getting into it was not with the precept that we had the wherewithal to be able to sustain Fountain University. It's because we saw so many Christian organizations floating so many Christian universities, and we thought Muslims should also have one of their own. And then everything was deployed to getting a university license. When we got it, then we were looking, how do we do this? But alhamdulillah, Allah has been gracious to sustain it for us.
On behalf of the celebrants' children, Dr. Aziza Alebimoyo shared a profound gratitude to all.
First and foremost, I would like to thank and acknowledge Ibeji Foundation and Ms. Baldin Islamic Center for organizing this lovely reception for my dad. Truthfully, I'm not surprised that he's getting all the accolades that he's getting today, because from time we've known our dad to be a symbol of excellence, hard work, and it's something he's tried to imbibe in us, the children. We are extremely proud of him today. And I want to say Jazakumullah khairan to everybody who has honored him here today.
Gifts were presented to the celebrant by dignitaries.
Subhanallah, Allah, walhamdulillah, Allah, Allahu Akbar.
The thrilled celebrant expressed his feelings to everyone.
Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Alhaji tí mo sọ mo ní olùkọ́ tẹ̀fẹ́ fún mi náà ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì umura pé kájọ máa lọ nítorí táwọn ẹ̀ka máa ṣírò umura wọn ní ìsìn yóò tó 50 àti bàbá wa ẹ̀bí ti ọlọ́ọ̀ba tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ wọn tá sì nífẹ̀ẹ́ èmi náà tá sì nífẹ̀ẹ́ tó bá jẹ́ Islam. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ pé Alhaji ẹ̀bí tó ní project kan yàtọ̀ sí summit o. Àwọn ará Turkey ń ṣe program kan nípa ẹ̀kọ́ ní Nàìjíríà. And it's one of the greatest financiers and supporters of that type of something. Problem àwa Mùsùlùmí kọ́ ló ń ṣàánú wa. Illiteracy, poverty, lack of empowerment. Let us try as much as possible, those who have the wherewithal amongst us, what can we contribute to lift the Islamic institution. Akọ́lé sí Lẹ́kì, akọ́lé sájà, akọ́lé sígbà, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú kí structures náà wà fún Islamic universities. Ó ṣe pàtàkì o. Gbogbo àwọn Redeemer University, Covenant University, pàápàá àwọn university tó jẹ́ ti Christian tá a bá wọ̀ lónìí, gbogbo ti Islam kò tí ì tó kanu gbogbo rẹ̀ o. Kí ló sì fà á? Àwa Mùsùlùmí ànáwó sí education kan tó ń gbọ́ owó gan ni. Ọlọ́run ní kí n ní àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ Mùsùlùmí kan tó yẹ pé èmi lówó tó lè dá university kọ́ lára rẹ̀ tí mo mọ̀ kó sì ní yes owó tó tábàrí tiẹ̀ wá fún wa ní hall kan wàhálà yóò tọ́ ọ̀bọ̀ àpòyàn yóò kàṣàlẹ̀ ni àti mú owó nira fún àwọn Mùsùlùmí púpọ̀ bí kájọ jókòó ká máa pín owó bí àná ń pín owó mọ́ṣáláṣí ni sọ̀kọ́ lọ́n kó tún wá ṣe kí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí Islam kó túbọ̀ máa gbòòrò sí.
The vote of thanks was said by Alhaji M.M. Bolarinwa.
Allah made it possible for myself and the Prof to cross our way Islamically, and we've been brothers since then. If you see him and look at him very critically, you notice a lot of God gifts in him. Tí Prof bá rí mi, wọ́n fẹ́ lè máa kúnlẹ̀ fún mi báyìí, wọ́n lè fẹ́ lè máa dọ̀bálẹ̀. And such humility is only given to very few people. Mo máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan fún wọn, ara ọ̀rọ̀ náà, àwọn àtẹ̀mí nìkan àtọlọ́hun la mọ̀. Mo repeat ẹ̀ fún wọn rí twice pé ẹni tó bá ń bẹ Ọlọ́run kò ń bẹ̀yàn. Màá wá ní subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa atba'ihi wa sallama ajma'in amin. Amin subhana rabbik rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillah.
What are some of the positive attributes Hamidu Olalekan Sanni put into his work that made him excel?
He's very hardworking, he is very disciplined, and he is very truthful and honest.
What is your impression about the event?
We are celebrating a scholar, a legend. And from what some of us said here, Professor Sanni is larger than life. And we cannot actually say everything about him in just one event.
The celebrant, Alhamdulillah, is a very outstanding scholar. He has just completed a very successful tenure as Vice Chancellor of Fountain University. And we are indeed proud of him. Very, very glad that he came to Fountain University because he did a yeoman's job.
He performed excellently well as Vice Chancellor of the university. He was really a team leader, a team builder, and a community person.
I came across Professor Sanni in 2017. We went for Hajj with him through Medview Airline. Since then, we have kept a good relationship with him. So even last night when I sent him a text saying that, where is the function? He replied to me, Alhaji brother, I'm looking forward to seeing you. He's a great man. So much testimony has been said. May Allah reward him for what he has done for Islam and what he has done for education in this country.
Well, I know him very, very long time. I wouldn't say precisely 10, 20, 30 years. But he's been an humble person, down to heart, with humility, and in anything you talk. And he's blessed with the knowledge of languages. So I came in today, apart from receiving his messages and this arrangement they made for him, to give my own compliment. A testimony that he's a wonderful person. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide him and give him more barakah.
He's a workaholic. He's very, very diligent. He keeps so much to time,
and he manages his work with family.
Well, we give thanks to Almighty Allah for this occasion, and it's been a wonderful journey, exciting one for that matter. And we are happy that one is able to contribute one's little effort to the development of the university. And of course, I want to thank the friends and acquaintances that were here to celebrate this event. And I give thanks to Almighty Allah for this occasion.
We wish Professor Amidu Olalekan Sanni more blissful years in life and career. Amen.